I want to talk Flick because I know there's a lot of topics that are very exciting for everyone, but for the most part, I know we all want to talk about Nico Williams, we want to talk about the offense and everything, but I think it's very important that we speak on Flick because I remember when Xavi was fired, there was about three rumors that were basically really huge. It was like Tuchel, Arteta, and then there was Flick. And I remember going back. I didn't
And
have a
you remember
channel.
Rafa Marquez?
Yeah, Rafa
Rafa
Marquez. I,
Marquez too.
I didn't have a channel. I had like a TikTok, but I
Okay.
remember I said, Flick, man, if that guy comes here, I mean, I think he's the best, has to be the best option, right? But I just didn't think that he would actually want to come to Barcelona because at that time, I didn't even think that Barcelona was such a great job, or at least didn't look like a great job on paper. I mean, we did have Pedri, we did have Rafinha, we did have Lewandowski, but at the end of the day, I didn't think that we had that kind of a promise, or at least there was no hype. But I didn't think that we could get him. When I saw that Laporta and Deco, got Flick, I was like, man, that is the best case scenario for Barcelona. I don't know how he's gonna do, but as far as like the optics and as far as like the hire, I thought it was a great hire. Now, did I see this? That's insane. That would be crazy for me to say that I saw what Flick was able to turn around. What are your thoughts on Hansi Flick? Did you think that he could do this? Did you think that Hansi Flick was gonna immediately just flip a switch on this team and just basically make it look like the best team in the world?
I want to say I did because for me, Flick, the same thing that you were saying. Like for me, Arteta, he likes putting his fingers all over everything. He got that from Pep, so I like a manager like that, and Barcelona needed that at that time. Tuchel, I like that because he also did that, but he wasn't, in my opinion, he doesn't have the longevity of some other managers in certain jobs, and I didn't see that as a good thing. Hansi
Mhm.
Flick was an interesting one because I thought we could get him. Tuchel was a little bit of a higher profile, but Flick came out of not working in Germany. Remember that in Germany it didn't work out, and the
Yeah.
reason why I knew that 100% it didn't work out, it was because he couldn't have enough time to develop the players or to get his ideas onto the players, and you could
Mhm.
see that in Germany. He was trying so hard to sort of ingrain that, and it didn't work out. At Barcelona, he was going to have that. He was going to have that time. He was going to have that project. He was going to have that possibility to improve the team. And I like that from Flick. Of course, I couldn't foresee us reaching where we are right now. For me, the craziest thing, the thing that has surprised me the most is the sort of level that he has taken these players to.
Mhm.
Or more than the players, I would say the system, because I think he has made the players develop in a system that they can flourish in, because I don't think Flick is particularly every day, going to Rafinha, do this, improve this, like Pep
Yeah.
Guardiola. No, I
Yeah.
think Flick is just like, you're going to play this way and this is going to make you better. And I think that's the sort of credit that we need to give to Flick. And I'm very happy that Flick is the guy. I really do see this as a great signing. And I don't know, can I ask you a question here? Like, do you
Yeah.
think that if Flick, let's say, wins, is he already like in the top managers of Barcelona in the modern era, like Luis Enrique, Guardiola? I think he's there. And if you add
Yeah.
that, if he wins a Champions League, I think he certainly is there.
I think when you take into account the level of difficulty when, for example, when Guardiola came into the to Barcelona, when Luis Enrique, what he inherited, I think Hansi Flick inherited a mess. And what Hansi Flick was able to do, turning things around, not only in the starting 11, not only for the squad, I go as far as to say that Hansi Flick has buttoned up the front office in Barcelona. When you hear things like Deco coming out and saying, I don't know anything about goalkeepers. I don't know goalkeepers. I don't think we need a goalkeeper. And then you see Deco in Laporta going for a goalkeeper. That's telling you that Hansi Flick is actually running the front office as well, in the sense that he's getting a lot of say. Hansi Flick did came out and say that he wanted a goalkeeper for next season, and he got it. And now there's going to be a war between Ter Stegen. We're going to get to that. But my point is, I think that when you look at what Hansi Flick was able to do, for what he inherited, also that kind of squad, he all of a sudden there's this kid Kubarsi who's playing incredibly great. There's Inigo Martinez who had one of his best seasons ever for a CB, and also the Baldes of the world, the Pedris of the world. Never in my wildest dreams I would have thought that Frankie De Jong would have had the kind of season that he had. Then you look at Rafinha, you look at Lamine Yamal being one of the best players, like arguably the Ballon d'Or, and then obviously the only Lewandowski, right? The performances weren't there, but the goals were there. So everybody around Hansi Flick just seems to find their way, seems to be just playing at a different level, and that is the kind of credit that I'm giving Hansi Flick. To be honest with you, I think that in just 1 year, it's crazy to say that, right? In just 1 year, what he was able to do, I think he's up there. He's up there with all the coaches
But
that we've ever
you know
had.
what are those little things that make him special? Like I am always of the like for instance, do you know that this year now, whenever the players arrive to the game, they go with the squad uniform. You know that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a great thing. That's a
Yeah,
great point.
little
Yes.
things like that, like that, or the fact that if you don't turn up, you don't play. Simple as that. If you
Hmm.
don't turn up on time, you don't play. Little things like that for me are what really makes a leader, because you start you start putting rules and expectations. You start setting examples, and for me, that's the sort of thing that you need in a team. And I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
that you have it's fair. You play good, sure, get a rest off. And I think that sort of mentality and the dressing room, the unity that he built, is for me the most important thing. Because right now I see a team. I didn't see a team before. I actually look at this side, and I look at every player, and I go like, you are part of this. You're part of this team, and you've earned it. And I think that's all down to Hansi Flick. Those little details, for me, that's very, very important.